Well, we know Angel Reese has definitely been in the headlines, man, after erupting in a press conference, pretty much swearing at reporters. And I'm here to tell you today is another day of the Angel Reese drama because she has simply smacked the clipboard out of an assistant coach's hands. Yes, now all of this went down during the Washington missed this game. And this happened on national television.
Another lopsided defeat. Another matchup where it all unraveled. But this time, Angel Reese didn't just leave the court quietly. She made sure everyone in the arena knew exactly what was on her mind.
Yeah, I think we fought really hard. It's tough when you talk to officials and I asked them, hey, we only shot 2 free throws. We only went to the free throw line twice up into the fourth quarter, and she tells me it's not her job. So I know it's frustrating because I know how hard we're battling inside. And I think that we came down and fought as hard as we could with what we had. And I just know that we continue to grow in this. And I think this is a leaping step for us. And obviously we know we can compete with the best, but that has to be fixed. And I don't give a damn if I get fined because that's cheap. And I am tired of this because I've been nice and I've been humble with it, but I am tired of this.
Following yet another crushing defeat to the Minnesota Lynx, reports say Angel Reese confronted her coach in a way that left even her teammates stunned. No forced smiles, no rehearsed post-game lines, just unfiltered emotion, raw frustration, and weeks of mounting tension finally boiling over. For a player shouldering the burden of an underperforming roster while living under the glare of national attention, something gave way. And as the post-game chaos unfolded, fans began asking a tough question. Was this an act of fiery leadership, or a sign of a dangerous rift within the Sky's locker room? The moment exploded across social media, with clips of Angel seething, talking back on the bench, and walking away from huddles dissected by every sports commentator with a microphone.
Angel Reese supposed to be leading young women and being a great example to girls and kids all over the world. Well, I'm here to tell you, she was not leading by example today.
But beneath all the viral headlines is a deeper truth. This wasn't just another rough outing, it was the breaking point in a widening rift between a rising star and a coaching staff running out of solutions. And the situation is spiraling quickly.
Look at this. Look at this. I can't make this. Next it out of here. Backs the clipboard out the assistant coach hands. Just not a good look from Angel Reese as a basketball player.
The Chicago Sky didn't just fall to the Minnesota Lynx, they crumbled. And this wasn't the kind of loss that merely stings, it was the kind that flat out humiliates. From the opening tip, the Sky looked scattered and out of sync. Defensive rotations were slow, communication was non-existent, and the energy was flat. The Lynx, on the other hand, came out like a team with a mission, playing with pace, control, and total confidence. They attacked with precision and quickly exposed Chicago's weaknesses. Angel Reese battled on the boards like her life depended on it, clawing her way to yet another double-digit rebounding night. But she couldn't carry the load alone. While she fought, the rest of the team looked stuck in quicksand. The most glaring flaw? Transition defense. Every missed shot by Chicago became an easy fast break bucket for Minnesota. The Sky were burned up and down the court, and no one seemed to have the legs, or the leadership, to fight back. Even when they tried to rally in the second half, bad shot selection and poorly timed substitutions crushed any momentum. But the real issue wasn't just in the numbers, it was in the way they lost. There was no heart, no rhythm, no urgency. Reese, visibly frustrated, kept trying to spark her team, calling out defensive assignments, clapping for energy, urging the bench to get involved, but her efforts went unanswered. It felt like watching one player fight for pride while the rest waited for the clock to run out. By the fourth quarter, the Sky had mentally checked out. The Lynx stretched their lead beyond reach, and Chicago's bench looked lifeless. When Reese was subbed out briefly, cameras caught her slumped in her seat, staring blankly at the floor while coaches scrambled for last-minute adjustments that were clearly doomed. Then came the final buzzer. The scoreboard didn't just show a loss, it showed defeat, in both numbers and spirit. And that's when it all unraveled. Reese didn't wait to calm down. She didn't wait for the press. She went straight to the huddle and confronted her coach head-on. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe my channel for more awesome content. Thanks.
Just like I stated, man, she's supposed to be a leader among young women across the world. And this ain't showing very much leadership. I just gotta be honest here, dog.
Teammates froze in disbelief. Staff stepped in, but the message was already loud and clear. Angel Reese was done with losing, done with excuses, and done with being the only one showing fight. For most, this game will fade into the blur of the Sky's losing streak. For Reese, it marked the moment she broke. As the final buzzer echoed through the arena, she wasn't just frustrated, she was furious. And this time, she didn't swallow it. She walked straight to the coaching staff with fire in her eyes, cameras rolling. Words flew. Her voice cut through the low roar of the crowd still shuffling toward the exits. Then, it happened. She slammed her hand down near the clipboard, hard enough to send it skidding out of an assistant coach's grip. The message couldn't have been more blunt. She'd had enough. Witnesses say the exchange was anything but quiet. Reese paced, pointed, and unleashed the frustration fans have been shouting about all season. Terrible rotations, no offensive structure, and the same stale game plan repeated week after week with no results. In her mind, this wasn't just about one bad night. It was about a staff unwilling to adapt. This wasn't ego. It was accountability. Reese has long been known for her heart, intensity, and leadership, but this time, her leadership didn't come through a post-game pep talk. It came through confrontation. Those close to the team insist this wasn't a one-off. Tensions between Reese and the coaching staff had been brewing for weeks. She's reportedly raised concerns about porous defense, unclear offensive roles, and the team's lack of urgency in crunch time. Each loss chipped away at trust, and the blowout against the Lynx was the breaking point. Even during the game, it was obvious something was off. Reese barked out defensive calls, signaled switches, and tried to direct traffic while also leading the team in points and rebounds. She was carrying far more than her stat line. She was carrying the emotional load of the team. That's a dangerous role when frustration starts spilling into public view. To some fans, the outburst was proof of passion, a leader refusing to accept mediocrity. To others, it raised an uncomfortable question. Is this crossing the line and fracturing team chemistry? The coaching staff hasn't addressed the blow-up. No quotes. No explanations. Just silence, and that silence speaks volumes. Behind closed doors, the Sky are likely scrambling. Do they try to rein her in, risking alienating their star? Or admit she has a point and make changes? Either way, this wasn't a heat-of-the-moment tantrum. It was a statement. Angel Reese is done waiting, done sugarcoating. And if the staff won't change, she's going to force the issue, even if it means doing it in front of the world. The ripple effect is just beginning. Reese may be the face of the Chicago Sky, but even she can't overcome a system that keeps collapsing around her. And after this latest disaster against Minnesota, fans and analysts alike are saying what Reese has probably been thinking for weeks: the coaching strategy is broken. It starts with the rotations. From the opening quarter, it was obvious the matchups weren't working. Chicago couldn't keep up with the Lynx's movement, yet no adjustments came. Cold-handed starters stayed in, while bench players were yanked before they could find a rhythm. Haley Van Lith and Ryan Jefferson swapped in and out with no apparent strategy, neither getting the chance to take control and build flow. Offensively, the Sky's playbook looked stale and predictable. Basic pick-and-rolls, little off-ball action, and poor spacing made life easy for Minnesota's defense. Reese, a player who thrives in chaos and high-energy sets, was left stranded on the block, surrounded by defenders and with no outlet in sight. Possession after possession, it felt like Reese was single-handedly bailing out the Sky, snatching offensive boards, drawing fouls, and finding ways to manufacture points when no one else could get anything going. The problem? This isn't new. It's been the story all season. Chicago often starts strong, only to unravel in the second half due to a lack of adjustments. They get out-coached, out-hustled, and outsmarted down the stretch, while teams like the Lynx use timeouts strategically, make timely defensive switches, and shut down the Sky's limited offensive sets. Then came the late-game blunder that sealed the loss. With under a minute left and the Sky trailing, Reese reportedly urged the staff to challenge a foul call, a gamble that cost them a crucial timeout. When the challenge failed, they had no way to stop the clock for a final possession. Analysts labeled it a rookie mistake. Fans were stunned. But Reese wasn't the one holding the clipboard. That call falls squarely on the coaching staff. Moments like that raise a deeper question. Is this a leadership problem or a trust problem? If your franchise player feels compelled to make tactical calls in real time, does she really trust the people making those decisions? Based on what we've seen, it's hard to say yes. The Sky aren't just losing games, they are losing control. And when your star starts publicly challenging your decision-makers, it's no longer just about X's and O's. It's about survival. Body language says what words won't, and Reese's expressions told the story: frustration, exhaustion, disbelief, and, most tellingly, resentment. Not toward her teammates individually, but toward a system that's letting her down. From the opening tip against Minnesota, her energy was undeniable, battling inside, chasing boards, trying to spark the team with physical play. But as the lead slipped away, her posture shifted. After missed shots and blown defensive rotations, she clapped sharply, barked out instructions, and at times shook her head in visible frustration. The cameras caught it all, and fans at home saw something more. Reese wasn't just playing basketball anymore. She was trying to coach the game herself in real time. Late in the third quarter, Reese called out a defensive switch that never came. Her assignment scored an easy bucket, and as the Sky jogged back on offense, she couldn't fully hide her frustration. On the next possession, she fought for position in the post, didn't get the entry pass, and threw her hands up in disbelief. It wasn't selfishness, it was pure exasperation. When teammates don't move, the play falls apart, and the coaching staff just lets it happen. You start to feel stranded. Midway through the fourth, Reese was subbed out. She walked right past her coach without making eye contact. No high five, no acknowledgement. She planted herself at the far end of the bench, legs bouncing, arms folded, eyes locked on the floor. Her frustration simmered just beneath the surface. Moments later, she got up on her own, pacing along the baseline, stretching, trying to shake the tension. This wasn't simply about losing, it was about feeling trapped in a system that refuses to adapt. Some viewers slammed her body language as disrespectful. But context matters. This isn't a player coasting through a bad night. The Chicago Sky's latest loss to the Minnesota Lynx wasn't just another bad night, it was a breaking point. Angel Reese, fresh off another double-double, confronted her coaches in full view of teammates and cameras. Her frustration wasn't about one game, but a season of poor rotations, predictable schemes, and a system that refuses to adapt. Reese has been the team's most consistent force, top tier in rebounds, scoring efficiently, and logging heavy minutes, while teammates and coaching decisions falter around her. She's carrying both the stat sheet and the emotional weight of a struggling franchise, but leadership without support has turned into isolation. The outburst sparked debate: fiery leadership or a fracture in team chemistry. Some see passion, others see a problem. But the real issue is trust, between player and staff, between talent and system. If the Sky can't meet Reese's intensity with strategy, accountability, and urgency, they risk more than losses. They risk losing the one player giving them relevance. Reese's message was clear: she's not here to lose quietly. The question is whether Chicago will fight alongside her, or watch another star walk away.